We're recapping Labor Day weekend, looking at some camping favorites, also some state fair favorites. What did you guys do? Also looking at a trending story of a B-21 Raider. This is all coming up on Inside the Newsroom. I'm your host, Maddie Paul. Inside the Newsroom, we bring you the trending stories of the KELOLAND area, and then we bring in our newsroom staff members to talk about the stories that they create every day that you see on our newscasts and online at KELOLAND.com. To start off, a multi-billion-dollar renovation for the Ellsworth Air Force Base is underway. And as Tom Hansen explains, Ellsworth will be the main operating base for America's newest stealth bomber, and that is the B-21 Raider.
The base just outside of Rapid City is being prepared for the arrival of the B-21. The reconstruction includes more than 36 individual projects, from replacing the old concrete and asphalt runway to new high-security maintenance buildings and hangars.
Well, they're working to finish up the runway. That's a major project right now. We hope to have the B-1s back in South Dakota probably by November. Apparently, they don't want to spend the winter up in North Dakota.
The base's B-1 bombers are temporarily stationed in Grand Forks. The B-1 Lancer is an impressive aircraft. But according to Rounds, who serves on the Senate Armed Services Committee, the new B-21 Raider is a game changer.
They are probably the most sophisticated weapon system ever developed by mankind. They have a stealth capability to begin with, and it's very similar to what the F-22 fighter has today, similar to what the B-2 bomber has today, but on a more advanced level yet.
The first test aircraft has been flying since 2023, and according to the Air Force, a second is expected to be in the air by the end of this year. We tried to nail down an arrival date to South Dakota, but Rounds was only able to give us hints because the Raider program remains highly classified.
I think we've got 6 in the pipeline right now, and I think one of those is not going to be for deployment, but the other 4 or 5 will be. So they'll start moving in here fairly quickly. But it's not going to happen in the next month or so.
And Tom Hansen joins us now right here at the digital desk to talk more about this really unique story. Tom, it sounds like you know what you're talking about in this story. So you have a history with this? You like covering this?
I've covered a lot of Air Force stories over the years because I was, a reporter in Rapid City in my early years. And then I went off to Colorado Springs, where there's the Air Force Academy, 2 Air Force bases, NORAD, and then Salt Lake City, where there's Hill Air Force Base out there. So I did a lot of Air Force stories over the years. So I've kind of kept up on all this stuff. I was telling you earlier that I've been fortunate enough to go up in a couple of fighter planes and have the blood sucked out of my brain.
Yeah, how else would you describe it? I can't even imagine, let alone if I was like in a helicopter. One of these bombers is kind of insane. Since you have a history of doing stories like this, what makes the B-21 Raider stand out as a machine, especially here in South Dakota?
The main thing is, and this is what you get from Senator Rounds, is people can't see it. And because the way you see planes is through radar, and it won't show up on radar. So the B-1, which you just saw there, it's a beautiful plane. It looks like a big fighter, but it'll show up on radar, so the enemy can shoot it down. Whereas you fly that B-21, they can't find it.
Wow.
So its mission will be to go in and take out the air defenses before the other planes come in.
And it sounds like there's a lot of details that are classified in this story, as you pointed out in your own story. And, there's some timelines that aren't quite clear yet, which is fine. But you show this in your story and you say, this is classified information. Why do you do that?
Well, because there's so little information available. I think, viewers need to know that there's not much out there. So when Senator Rounds is willing to give up some information that he gets because it is, he has information that the rest of us don't, trying to pry that out of him. It's a little game, and Mike was having fun with it too. It's like, well, maybe 2026? No, not possible, but really probably 27 or 28 by the time it arrives here.
Well, I like that even though there was classified information or something that wasn't quite clear, you still put it in the story, because that answered questions that I would have in my head as a viewer who really doesn't know much about something like this. And I'm trying to put pieces together too. In fact, I just said at the beginning, it sounds like you know what you're talking about. I feel like you make this story pretty palatable for someone who doesn't know anything about aircraft or these types of bases. How do you do that? Like, how do you make it easier for viewers to understand stories like this? Like, what do you try to do?
That's a good question. I mean, I think you have to back up when you're looking at a story like this and go, okay, what you do? You think of your audience. Okay, what do I know, and what don't people know? What doesn't the average person know about this?
There you go.
And
that's
what's interesting. I mean, that's when you're putting a story together. That's always going through my brain is, okay, what would interest me if I were sitting at home on my couch? What would I want to know? And do I have that information? Can I give that? So, yeah, that's what's going through your brain as a reporter.
Is there anything else you want viewers to know about this specific story, Tom?
It's really cool for me to see a new plane coming to Ellsworth because, and I brought this just to show you, but
what? Oh!
I was at Ellsworth when the B-1 bomber arrived. So the B-52 bomber was at Ellsworth for many, many years and still comes out of there. But the B-1 bomber came to Rapid City in the 80s.
Wow, so you're really
and I got to cover it. So I would love to be there when the B-21 comes, too.
Are you going to be in the plane?
I would. Well, no.
You're going to be in the machine?
They won't let you in the plane. They won't let you anywhere near that, Maddie.
We could hope and dream. Tom, thank you so much for sharing all these really neat details. It's really exciting and really cool to know a part of this about yourself. And viewers, stick around because up next on Inside the Newsroom, we're looking over some Labor Day weekend activities. Let's start off with the State Fair. What's your favorite thing at the fair? Well, Kelly Vogt finds those answers up next on Inside the Newsroom. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. The South Dakota State Fair had another successful year. So Kelly Vogt went out to see with fairgoers what stood out most to them.
Whether you have a sweet or savory tooth, you can count on lots of different foods when you head to the fair.
What's your favorite food at the fair?
Oh, I like these mini donuts. I've made donuts all my life. I come out here and get a good hot mini donut.
Pizza and mini donuts.
The caramel apple with nothing on it but caramel.
Okay. What's your favorite food at the fair?
I would say the funnel cakes.
Cheese curds.
The food is just one of the highlights at the State Fair. Some people have their favorite rides that they like to enjoy.
I don't know, maybe the Rings of Fire. The zipper.
The sizzler.
Rides aren't the only way to have fun on the fairgrounds. What's your favorite activity at the fair?
Like looking at the shops and like the boutiques and all that.
See the animals.
Definitely bull bashes.
And sometimes it's hard to narrow down a favorite fair activity.
Oh, I love the fair. Everything. It's fun.
Everything is fun. Kelly Vogt joins us now at the digital desk to talk more about this story. Kelly, no one asked you. What's your favorite thing at the fair?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that. For food, I would have to say cheese curds.
Good answer.
I always have to get the cheese curds at the fair. What's your favorite?
Okay, cheese curds is always a favorite too, but I also like a classic corn dog.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. You have to get fried food or something on a stick at a fair. Otherwise, it doesn't count as fair food, in my opinion.
Yeah,
what about rides? Are you a ride person?
I used to be when I was younger. Now I just kind of like a relaxing ride on the Ferris wheel.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, I like that much better. When Jordan was at the fairgrounds, he did his own little shot up on the top of the Ferris wheel. I thought that was really cool. I almost thought we had like a drone, like a KELOLAND drone. I was like, how'd you get that? And he's like, I was just on the Ferris wheel. When you interviewed one of the kids for your story and his response was the Rings of Fire, I a little shocked about that because that kid has much more ambition and adrenaline than me. I feel like that would freak me out too much. So that was like a fun answer to see. When you were grabbing everybody to talk to for the story, did you get a lot of no's?
No, everyone, I think I asked maybe 8 or 10 people, and everyone told me yes.
Oh, great.
Everyone was happy to be there. And, I think when we go to the fair, a lot of us have our must-do activities or the thing that we have to eat that we only get a few times a year. And so, I think I think a lot of people were excited and happy to talk about that.
I love that. Have you done stories at the state fair before?
I have in the past, but this was really a planned out adventure.
Yeah.
I went on opening day on Wednesday, and I had my different stories that I knew I wanted to shoot. I did one on animals. I did one on some longtime food vendors, vendors who have been serving 30 and 40 years. And then this other one, I just wanted to talk to the people and find out, what are your favorite things here?
Yeah, those are always my favorite stories. I just love a classic man on the street story, seeing what people have to say. What was a takeaway for you after your entire adventure at the fairgrounds?
Everyone was really happy to be there. I think it's a very cherished event in Huron, and everyone I spoke to happened to be from Huron. I didn't seek out people from a certain town, but the group that I talked to, they were all locals, and they all just really seemed to enjoy this end of summer event in their town.
I know, and cleanup, I believe, can start today, right? Because the fair wrapped up on Monday on Labor Day.
It did wrap up Labor Day, yes.
Okay. Is there anything else you want viewers to take away from your fun fair stories?
Well, other than I hope we can do it again next year.
Yes, send Kelly out to the fair, everyone. And then what story are you working on tonight?
Today I'm heading to George McGovern Middle School. One of the teachers there is in the running for a national prize. And so coming up in my story tonight, I'm going to introduce you to the teacher, tell you a little bit about the contest and how you can vote.
Wow, sounds fun. Thank you so much for all those details, Kelly. And everyone, stick around. We're still going to be talking about Labor Day weekend when we come back on Inside the Newsroom. Stay with us. We're talking about camping next. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. Let's keep talking about Labor Day weekend because it is considered the end of summer for many people, which means warm weather activities are wrapping up. So Summer Roddershot took us to the Palisades to hear how campers enjoyed their long weekend.
While it's starting to feel more like fall, there were still plenty of campers this Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day is typically our third busiest holiday or third busiest weekend of the year. It was very similar to years in the past. I think we were about 1% down, but with the rain in the forecast, that's not too surprising that they were what they were calling for there.
For the Schulte family, this is one of their first times camping on Labor Day weekend.
We just got here yesterday, so we kind of just made supper, kind of hung around the campfire, made s'mores. Just kind of bonded, talked, caught up with everybody.
It's one of their family's last hurrahs of the summer.
If you missed out on camping this summer, Palisades State Park has an option for you to camp during the cooler temperatures.
We do see camping going into the fall, so we see a lot of people come out, even in the winter time. We have some units, especially the cabins. Those cabins are heated. We plow out snow and everything like that.
Letting people extend their summer activities just a little longer.
It's the time where we can get out and enjoy nature and God's creation. We love hiking, and it's a good time for us just to really not be on our phones, and we play games and we go explore things.
And Summer Roddershot joins us at the digital desk now. Summer, this makes me really appreciate nature and the outdoors.
I know, right?
I'm not much of a camper, though, but I've always wanted to go out to the Palisades State Park and see what it has to offer, especially with camping. So this story, very good insight for that. Yeah. When you went out and you did this story about Labor Day weekend, did you know who you were going to talk to, or was it more of a goal of, let's see who we can find?
So I did know I was talking to Luke Dreckman. He helps run the whole show there. So I knew he would have a little bit more of those nitty-gritty statistics for me. But as far as campers, I was sort of just hoping somebody would want to talk to me. It was funny, I did a story similar to this where I talked to campers a couple months or a year ago, and nobody wanted to talk to me. I had to walk a full, I put in my steps that day, okay? It was a long time. And so I was because, I'm bugging them when they're camping and they're chilling and, you know, they're trying to relax. And so it took me a while that time, but I walked up to people that day. I'm like, hey guys, before you hop in your car, do you want to talk with me? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, we love camping. We love our family. We love unplugging. We love nature. I'm like, I love it. Beautiful.
The gold mine
Literally,
for sound.
literally. It was great. So no, I didn't know, but the people that I ran into were obviously awesome.
Yeah, and when you're creating a story like this, as we're wrapping up, those summer warm activities, is that kind of the message you wanted to bring with this kind of camping related story, or what were you hoping viewers stuck out with this?
Yeah, sort of just, showing, this is what a lot of people were doing on Labor Day, because that place, trust me, that place was packed. I think he said it was entirely full one of the nights and almost full some of the other nights.
Yeah, one of his busiest times for sure.
Busiest times. He said that rain sort of kept a couple people, maybe they changed their plans or kept them out, but that makes sense. So,
okay.
But yeah, sort of just like, this is what happens on Labor Day. But then also talk about how you actually can camp in a little bit of cooler temperatures if you want to.
I don't know if I would personally ever do that. I like my heat. Everybody knows this on this show now. If you watch every day, I complain about the cold all the time. Are you a big camper, Summer?
I'm not a big camper, but I do want to throw in, they have those cabins that are heated. Oh. So I think that's a big thing, because I think a lot of people that they think fall, they think winter, not
it's gonna
camping.
Get cold, yeah.
But those cabins, they're heated, so you're able to not be cold. So even you might like it if you like camping.
You know what? You kind of got me there. I wanted to go out to the Palisades for a while, so that might be the kicker. Yeah. So why aren't you a big camper?
Okay, so
story time?
Like this weekend, whenever we would go camping, it would rain. And I remember one of the times we went camping and we were convinced there was a mountain lion outside of our tent, because my dad didn't like taking a camper. He liked tenting, like the real people that are camping are tenting. But then another time, it was pouring rain. We were on a tent on a slant. My mom was at the bottom of the slant, and this shows you how long ago, because my brother is now in college, but his baby bottle floated past her head in our tent.
Oh.
And I kid you not, I don't think we've been camping since. So
no.
Not a camping. So floated past her head. And we were in Watertown. We were in the town we lived in. So we should have just gone home, but it was
flooded in Watertown.
Yeah, so
oh, that's too bad.
Us kids aren't really camping. I don't know if campers. I don't know if my mom and dad are, but
what if you had a little heated cabin to go to?
A heated cabin, I feel like I could do it. You know? Hopefully there's like a plug-in for a coffee maker or something, if I heat.
Can I charge my phone?
No, no, you're supposed to unplug, Maddie.
Oh yes. Oh no. It's the digital space. It consumes me.
Oh, of course.
That's what this is. Is there anything else you'd like viewers to know about your story, Summer?
Yeah, no, just if you're interested in fall camping and winter camping, that's an option. I didn't know it was really an option before now, but hey, if you're a camper and your tent won't cut it in the winter, there's other options for you.
Well, Summer, thank you so much for sharing these details and laughs with us here at the Digital Desk. And everyone, stick around. We're going to do a Labor Day weekend recap, not only about activities that we did over the weekend, but also looking at that weather and then what the pattern will be coming up this week. Stay with us. Our favorite meteorologist, Scott Munt, is coming up next. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. Now, I talked about this a little bit last week, but my birthday was actually over Labor Day weekend. And we're bringing Scott Munt on right now because I was expecting a lot of cold this weekend, Scott, but it actually turned out being really nice. So I did a lot of outdoor birthday celebration, Labor Day weekend.
You must have been doing a lot because I sent you a happy birthday message via text.
And then what?
Crickets. If I was on that side of this digital desk, I would have the cricket sound effect going.
Whoops.
Nothing.
I'm sorry. It's just because I was so busy. In fact, I was so busy that I've been writing it down and trying to remember so I can tell you everything that I did.
All right. So go.
I will tell you right now. Speed zone. Bow, bow, bow. So my birthday was on Saturday. And I had to start off my birthday with trying to get every single free thing that I could get. Here's the weird thing, though, Scott. Have you heard about this? You can get birthday freebies from chain restaurants or some stores and stuff.
They might give you a free dessert, but don't you have to go in there and order a meal?
So that's the thing. Some makeup places, maybe I shouldn't say names. So some makeup places, you used to be able to go in and you get something just for free. And this is a thing from fast food chains as well. But I've noticed this year, because it's been a while since I tried to get some freebies, but this year, you got your birthday surprise with a purchase of something else.
Right,
There's only a number of stores. No, that's not how it should be. You should be able to or you need to be a part of their rewards program or something like that. And then you can get your little birthday freebie. But otherwise, yeah, it's mostly just like a free dessert.
So how many freebies did you get?
I ended up getting less than 10, but because some of them were for free, for real, and then some of them were like
You
with
had to
a
buy
purchase.
and get it?
Yes. So didn't do that.
And
Didn't do that.
what were these 10 things?
I don't know if I want to say what it was. I mean, it was some makeup products and some food. I'll say that. I don't want to say the specific places because what if we want to get sponsors?
Well, yeah, that's true.
After I'm just complaining about the freebies I didn't get. Then I tried Rome Kitchen and Bar for the first time. Have you been there before?
No.
It's over by the mall. I don't remember how long they've been open, but it's really like a barbecue place.
Okay, I was thinking of something else then.
It's next to, I want to call it the Steel District. It's not the Steel District. I think it's just the district
yep.
by the mall.
Yep.
And it was really good. Like the food, 10 out of 10. Really like a barbecue
Chef's
place.
kiss?
Yes, big chef's kiss. Big birthday chef's kiss. Then the next day.
Did you get anything free from there?
I did get a free dessert.
Oh, there we go.
So
There's one on the list.
Rome, thank you for the free dessert. It was a cheesecake and it was delicious. It was like cookies and chocolate. Then the next day.
Do you have to show your ID?
No.
So they just take your word for it?
They do.
So you can go in there next week and do the same thing?
You probably could. That's the hack.
I'm ruining it for everybody.
Yeah, everyone don't listen unless you want to. So the next day, I tried to stay local, okay? Like do something a little bit more local, be a part of some different activities.
As your birthday weekend continued.
Exactly. And this is on Sunday now. And we went to Lifelight for a little bit, the free concert over by like Nelson Park, Drake Springs area.
Okay, so was that a free one on the list of your birthday freebies?
That actually probably would be considered a freebie, huh? Yeah, that was a freebie. We didn't stay long. We just kind of were on a walk and we walked around there because it was a free event to get in. We didn't do any vendors or sit down or anything like that. I forget who played at the time, but it was really good music. Good. A lot of people showed up.
And you were able to dodge the raindrops.
Yeah, we were because
they came in late in the afternoon, I think around 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yep. I was going to say the same thing because we heard a little. Yeah. Was there thunder? Because I heard some thunder.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I heard some thunder. And so I was like, bringing the boom on my birthday or after my birthday. We went to the apple orchard too over in Harrisburg.
How was that?
Country apple. It was really fun. We did the corn maze. We weren't actually allowed to pick apples because there was a power outage over there. So we couldn't buy any of the bags to go pick. Because
what's your favorite apple?
Honeycrisp.
Honeycrisp.
Mm-hmm. But when I go to the orchards, I like to get the Cortland apples. But I only like doing those at orchards because, I don't know, they're kind of versatile. You can put them in anything, really.
Okay.
I remember last weekend we talked about, is it apple picking or pumpkin picking or apple versus pumpkin?
Yeah, I picked
you
the
chose
apple.
apple.
Yeah, I chose apple. I like the Cosmic Crisp.
Oh.
It's a newer variety.
Oh, a little scientific one.
It used to be the Honey Crisp.
Okay, but now it's this
Cosmo.
Cosmic. Okay, going Cosmo. I'm trying to think if I did anything else Sunday. I think that was it. And then Labor Day, I played tennis with some friends because I love tennis. I love tennis.
Really? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm, I played when I was in elementary school for like a year, kind of competitively, but I was not great. And then I did something for the first time ever. I played golf.
Really?
Well, not really, because it was at Great Shots. Does that count?
It counts.
Okay. Then how about this? I swung a club for the first time.
Did you hold on to it? You didn't
I never let go. That was
Okay,
good. And I actually hit the ball, which was impressive for me. My goal was to hit the ball. And then once I learned...
Baby steps?
Yes, exactly. And then once I learned like how I could actually hit it, I was like, okay, how many yards is my goal? My goal at the end of the day was to hit 50 yards.
On a fly or have it roll 50 yards?
On a fly.
Okay.
On a fly. So my goal was 50 and to hit it straight. I will say I kept hitting it straight, which is good. I hit the sweet spot, so it always goes straight. Good. But
it's half the battle.
My fly, I guess, now that I know these terms, was 80. I got 80. Mm-hmm. At least 80, or it was like 80, 84.
Your carry.
Yeah. My carry.
Yeah. It carried 80 yards.
Okay, then 80.
Yeah.
And then if you counted the roll too, then I got past 100.
There you go.
Then it was 106, I think.
You have to start somewhere.
I now know how to at least hit with the club. It's kind of weird though. At
least at Great Shots. Now, were you on the upper tier?
We were on the fly.
Extra roll on it.
Oh,
yeah,
did you get extra then? Oh no, it was kind of nice because you were up there. You could see everything and kind of know what was going on. So I really did a lot of stuff this weekend, and I thought it was going to be
go there
cold.
in the winter. Well, I guess it seems like winter for you is 9 months out of the year.
Winter starts now.
So right, yeah. when it's cold, and did they have the heaters on for you?
They had the fans on because it was actually kind of hot. Okay. I'm not lying.
Okay.
Like it was upper 70s
I've
yesterday
been there
at least?
when it's been snowing.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so they're open like year round then?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because golf is just a summer sport. Like they're not going to open country clubs or anything like that, right?
They have, but it's not for an extended period. They'll look at the forecast and say, okay, it's going to be in the 60s for X amount of days. Let's go ahead and try to open up the course if it's in playing condition.
Okay.
If you have a lot of standing water or it's, kind of mushy here and there, they're not going to open up the course because it's just going to get ruined. And then they have to fix all that too when the weather gets nicer.
Okay. So what did you do this Labor Day weekend? I know you had to work on Saturday.
I worked Saturday morning.
On my birthday. Oops.
And then did a couple of things around the house, sent you a text, never got a response.
I was busy. Now you know why. I was busy.
Had company come over on Saturday night. And Sunday, what did I do on Sunday? Oh, just the typical Sunday stuff around the house, doing laundry.
Sleeping.
We are in the process of starting to paint the house.
Ooh,
So we went
outside?
out this week outside. Ooh. We went out this weekend, bought some paint. I went out yesterday and, picked up a couple of paint brushes, rollers, and all that other fun stuff, caulk. And you have to do all this thing to prep the house before you actually start to paint it.
Ugh,
That's what I'll be busy with over the next, I would say, couple of weeks.
Before snow?
Before the snow. That's the
S
goal.
word.
That's the goal anyway.
Oh, Lord. Here it comes.
It's all weather dependent, too.
I know, because now it's really going to hit with the cold, right? Because I thought the cold was going to start this weekend, but it really didn't. It was pretty warm.
We've had days like we did over the weekend, and you said it was cold.
I know, but I was impressed, Scott. I was scared. I was like, Scott scared me.
It was probably the humidity that, stuck around over the weekend.
I think it was
numbers near 60. That's about to change. Now, Wednesday, maybe not necessarily in the morning, but during the day, you'll probably still be in the building. I won't be, which is good for me. Because if you go outside during the afternoon on Wednesday, you'll be saying how much colder it is.
Texting you like, what is this,
Oh, that's all right. I'll just ignore the text now.
Yeah, now you know secrets to do. Well, I'm sure you're going to be talking about all this dew point changes and cold fronts coming in on whether or not, right?
Yeah, Brian and I talk about just that. So we also talk about how much rain some areas of KELOLAND have received over the holiday weekend. It was heaviest across central to northwestern South Dakota. We have a list of cities and their numbers for Friday through Monday. And we talk about some of the summer rains that we've had. Set a record in Watertown for the wettest summer on record. Over 17 inches of rain for them.
I'm sure Brian loved that statistic.
Oh, and
love comparing that.
Yeah, and for Sioux Falls, we ended up with a little bit over 11. And I think it came back as around 43rd on the list for wettest summers.
Wow.
But if you go back to the 23rd of July, that's when the southern side of the city, the eastern side of the city had around 4, maybe 5 inches of rainfall. And all these measurements, official measurements, are taken at the airport. So just over a couple of miles, if you would add 4 inches to our total, that will shoot us up to 8th wettest on record.
Well, everyone, if that sounds interesting to you, you have to watch Whether or Not right after Inside the Newsroom to see what Scott and Brian have to talk about. Scott, thank you so much for being here.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And everyone,
happy belated birthday.
I'll text you this time. Thank you so much for the birthday message. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching. That's all the time that we have for Inside the Newsroom. Until tomorrow at 1 o'clock, have a great day, everyone.